What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube?
Sixers are in trouble. I need a top five.
Man, let's get into best of the week, man. What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube? Back for another episode of Charging to the Game Sports Podcast. I'm joined by Big Z, and as you can see, the big fella, Albert Haynesworth, is joining us today. We're going to be some football, man, highlighting his career, talking about some of his favorite highlights, some favorite memories of his from his playing days, and ultimately probably talk a little bit of Tennessee football, man. Let's get started. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for the support. But let's hop right into it, man. So, Albert, bro, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining the show, bro.
No problem. No problem. Thanks for having me.
Nah, no doubt, man. So, yeah, man. So tell us a little bit. I usually start with the icebreaker each and every show, man. So for the people that don't know, that have maybe never followed your career, where did you, tell us about your early life, where you grew up. Did you play any other sports, things of that nature?
Yeah, so I grew up in a small town, Hartsville, South Carolina. We had about, I think, 6,000 people in our town.
Wow.
So very small. I mean, not small to South Carolina standards, because just South Carolina small. But went to high school. I mean, went to Hartsville High, Carolina Elementary, Hartsville Junior High. Things like that. I've always played. I started playing football at like 6 years old.
Jeez.
And then, be it funny enough that my family is all like basketball players. Sorry again.
Okay.
No, I got you. Basketball players. Really?
Yeah, all my family, and they're short too. They're all like the women are roughly say like 5'3", and the guys are like 5'7", 5'8", maybe 5'9".
Right.
Yeah, I mean they're just short. So I'm the only one that came out, being 6'7".
But, bro, how does that happen, man? Did you take like some growth?
Well, you know what? I think it was literally our milk. Going back in the day, I used to drink like 2 gallons of whole milk a week.
They say does a body good. Milk does a body good.
Yeah, and all them hormones and stuff in it. So I'm sure. Yeah, because everybody didn't drink milk like I did. Like had to. So it was funny, but like that's so I did. I grew up there, and then started getting recruited. Like sophomore, junior year, and all that stuff, and then I just chose to go to the University of Tennessee. I felt like it was the right fit.
Cool, man. So tell us. So during high school, like, were you heavily recruited? Like in high school, did you play any other positions?
Well, I was like a backup tight end. Yeah. That was one of my buddies. He was the tight end, and he went to South Carolina.
Okay.
To Gamecocks, yeah. And so I went to Tennessee, yeah. But I was like that All-American and everything, all that stuff like that, number one in state. And so I went to a lot of like not camps, but like when they like invite you to like All-American things. Like I went to Hawaii at 17.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to the Hula Bowl. Hula Bowls was like All-American for them. And then like of course Reebok All-American. So they sent us to flip the I guess Reebok headquarters is in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So we did that. Gave us a bunch of gear. I think what else we did. I don't know where else I went. I think I went on another trip. I can't remember.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was just all that stuff that I was doing. So yeah, I was heavily recruited.
That's cool, man. So what was one of the key reasons, I guess, that you chose Tennessee? Was that you grew up in South Carolina? Like, who was the coach at that time? Was there anybody that like really stuck out to you, like in recruiting trips or?
Yeah. My coach was head coach was Philip Fulmer.
Okay.
My position coach is Dan Brooks, and he was also my recruiter.
Nice.
Yeah, he went to like after leaving Tennessee, like 2007, 2008. Whenever they fired Coach Fulmer, he went to Clemson.
Yeah.
And finished out. Yeah, I mean, just a great guy. I still keep in contact with him now.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, just a great person.
That's what's up, man. Z, you had a question?
Yeah. So, what was playing for Coach Fulmer like in Tennessee? He's a Tennessee legend, AD after coaching. What was it like playing for Coach Fulmer?
It was cool. I mean, he was like.
Does he look? Does he yell at everybody like he does on TV? It just look like he's yelling at everybody.
No, you don't. He won't. I mean, he'll like yell, but it's not like, oh my god, you're like fearful type.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we gotta do this better and gotta focus. He's like that type. He's not one of those just screamers that just yell.
Yeah.
No, he's not that type at all.
Okay.
So.
And then I had a follow-up playing with John Henderson. How did teams run the ball against
I forgot Big John
at Tennessee?
They didn't really. I mean, it's not many people that had 100 yards on us. Like
I can imagine why.
Yeah, that was our deal. We shut down a lot of guys. I remember, we played my first 2 years. We played Sean Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
And he was up.
He was Alabama, right?
Yeah,
and he's supposed to be up for Heisman and all that stuff like that. And man, every time he played us, he was like getting 20 yards. Kill that whole Heisman hopeful thing.
Yeah. Dreams crushed. Did you guys?
Yeah.
The times that you played Alabama, like, what were those battles like? Did you guys beat them, or like was it like a back and forth battle, or what?
No, I never lost to Alabama.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
so
they were good. I mean, see who they had. Like quarterback was like, I want to say they had Andrew Zal.
Yeah.
Remember him back in the day? Yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah. Well, who else they had? I mean, they had some good, good players that came from Bama. But yeah, I never beat them. They're not like what they are now.
Right.
Like they're just. I got a meme the other day. There was like they released the coaches or the top 10 coaches pick top 10.
Yeah.
It's got, of course, number 1 Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Number 4 Alabama's second string.
Probably so, man.
Number 7 is Alabama youth league, and I mean it was just like, yeah, it was crazy because they are good. Like just how much talent they have is unbelievable.
It's crazy, bro. Like it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just the recruiting. Like they get, it's like they pluck all the best kids from everywhere. You know what I mean?
All the 5 stars. Yeah.
Yeah. But nah, that's cool, man. So you played at Tennessee. You played there for what, 3 or 4 years?
Where at UT?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically like 2.5 seasons or 2.5 years, so 3 seasons. So I came out. Of course, I played my freshman year, sophomore year, and then that junior year I played, and then I declared for the NFL.
Okay. All right, cool,
so
man.
I had a quick question. So I saw you competed in the shot put in track.
Mm-hmm.
What was that experience like, and how good were you at doing the shot put?
No, get down. I was good. I mean, I was all right with it, but actually I did shot put, and I ran the 100.
What? You ran the 100? Really?
Yeah, I was like the third leg or third heat or something like that. Yeah.
Damn. What were you weighing then? Like, were you like defensive tackle, like Albert Haynesworth as we know you? Like,
yeah, I was I had like 6'4", 275.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Running the 100. That's crazy.
Yeah, I ran 11.7. That's
wow.
Yeah.
Man, just goes to show you, man. I mean, for a lot of these guys out here, I mean, for the people that watch the show, they don't know what a professional athlete, you know what I mean, is, what they're supposed to look like, what they're supposed to run. But like I said, you're 6'4", at that time, 260 or 270 something plus running the 100-meter dash. That's incredible, man, at that size.
Yeah, that was a long race. I don't even know why I'm doing 200. Yeah, I did it like, I don't know, a number of times. Maybe every other track meet at least.
Wow.
Damn. Did you do that like in your early life too? Did you run track?
No.
Really? Okay.
No, we just did it in high school because my buddy's like, man, you see all these type girls. So that's why I went and did
it. Hey, it gives you a reason, right?
Yeah. Hey, I got 3 prom dates out of that thing. I went to 3 different proms out of that track.
Hey, you can't knock that, man. I mean, going to the little track meets, you know what I mean? So, hey, easy access, right? That's what's up, man. So, like you said, played for Tennessee for a few years, declared for the draft. So tell us about that process, man. So, like, what at that point, like, I guess you probably had an agent. Like, where were they projecting you to go? You ultimately attended the NFL Combine. Like, what were your numbers looking like, and where were you projected to go?
I didn't do anything in the Combine, but I went.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were like, oh, of course, agents don't work out, do your pro day,
right?
All that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, they were projecting as high as as number 2 to, like a number 2 pick. I mean, I went to Carolina, and that's when they had the pick, and that's when they drafted Julius Peppers.
Okay.
Everything I was gonna be the first D tackle, but then I was actually the last D tackle.
Who was ahead of you though? Like, you remember some of the guys that went ahead of you?
Let's see. I think Ryan Sims went number 6.
Rams, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Was it the Rams? I thought it was the Chiefs. Maybe.
It was the Chiefs. Yeah, he was traded to the Rams, but yeah.
Oh,
Chiefs.
okay.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Then there was a guy, Antonio something. He was like from Wisconsin.
Okay.
And then of course Joe went like 9th, I think. Yeah, I think I was like 4th or 5th tackle or something.
Man.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you so at your pro day, like what were you what they have you doing at your pro day? Like, what drills they had you running, like doing your bench, your 40, all that type of stuff?
I thought I was gonna have more time, but I only did like I think 19 on the 225 because I was warming up.
Yeah.
I normally do warm up. You're gonna do like 7 or 8 275s, and then they're like, "Hey, Haynesworth, you're up." I'm like, I don't even get a time to like chill. So it was just like you just did a rep, and then you got to do more. So I was just like, "Oh, all right." So I did that, but then I ran in a 40. I ran like a 4.6 or 4.76. Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Say that the track 100 come in handy years later.
Yeah, no, I was almost 320. I was like 317 then.
Wow.
Damn. Running 4.7. That's incredible, man. And most of the NFL organizations and scouts and they look at you like your first 10 to 20 yards, right, for it as a D lineman, right?
Well, no, I mean,
not that long speed, right?
I think they look at the 40. So I mean, I guess. I mean, I never really thought about I mean, I know that's the most important thing, but I don't think they really care about that.
Right.
Much, but yeah, then do that like L drill. You do all that stuff. We do all that stuff, and then we had like a workout with gosh, I can't remember this dude's name. He tried to like kill you in the workout, like really.
Yeah.
I can't even remember his name. It's
he was a strength and conditioning coach for you guys, or he was just like
no, he was like an NFL like D line. It's like Crocklin or something like that. I can't remember his name. But yeah, he like just one of these like hard nosed guys, and so he wanted to like try to wear us out. So yeah, that's who it was.
Okay.
What was the competition like between you and John? Both first round picks, both coming out of Tennessee together. What was that like in college, and then as you prepared to go to the draft and get drafted?
It was never any competition between us, not at all. I mean, even to this day, still not. We're still friends, So like, it was just like really how we work on stuff to get better. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it was. My guys at Tennessee are all great people. I guess there's still a lot of my friends and all that, that I have there. So, like both Tennessee places are great, and I still have lifelong friends.
That's what's up, man. All right, so you ultimately, like, say, you leave, get drafted. So tell us about your draft story. Like, where were you at? Like, what were you doing? Like on draft day or draft night or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. Let's see. It was. So I stayed in Knoxville, and we had like a place that was on the river. That was like a restaurant. So like rented out that and did the dinner. And then let's see, like during the draft. So it was of course me, John, and Dante. Stalwart.
Oh, the cornerback, yeah.
Receiver.
Yeah, he's a receiver, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm tripping. I'm thinking the other dude. Yeah.
But me and Dante were messing around. We didn't call. He didn't like have somebody call me. Say, this is Albert Haynesworth. Like, yes, yes it is. Are you ready to be such and such and all this stuff? So you're like, yes sir, ready, ready to come work and get ready. And so that's what we like to hear. This person like lead me on. I was like, and then next thing you know, him start laughing. I'm like, dude, I was like, oh my god, like whatever. And then so then later on, I did that to him, and he was like, yes sir, I'm here. Like I'll be your fastest receiver, da da da. So we're literally talking. I'm like, he's not. He's watching the draft, but not paying attention.
Yeah,
saying that the person that just got drafted still on the like being drafted, like their name is called. He's seeing it and all this stuff. It's like you're not your name. Yeah. And then literally we're like just laughing about that, and then he gets a call, and it's from the Saints.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's where he gets drafted. He's like, "Oh, I got a call," and he was like, "Yeah." Then he gets the Saints to pick him up, and then like 2 picks later, I was picked up.
Wow. Damn, man, that's incredible. Like, how fast was Dante? Man, he was known for his speed. Like, just seeing him, like he just looked like he was just incredibly explosive.
Yeah, I mean, he was like probably a low 4.3s, like 4.2s.
Damn.
Right, yeah, he was super explosive, but his thing, he needed to stretch. He needed to really stretch, because that's why he would get hurt, because he's so powerful, so fast. But you got to really loosen your muscles. But that's why he would pull stuff and stuff like that.
Got you. Man, that's what's up. So you ultimately get drafted by Tennessee, man. So who made the call to you? Was it Jeff Fisher? He was the coach at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
He called you?
Yeah, he did.
What was the conversation like at that time?
I was making sure that was my name on the hey. I was making sure that was my name called, or not one of them guys, But he was all cool. He was, just like, hey, I want you to come in and work. We want you to, to play and, help this team and, stuff like that. And then, so my D-line coach was the crazy one.
Who was it?
Jim Washburn.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and I love him to death. I mean, he's my guy. But yeah, he was just a wild one, man. He's just wild.
Like how wild? Like what were we having you doing? Like, you mean like drills, or just from talking to him, or just in general?
Yeah, just in general. Like, no, his drills weren't crazy or anything.
Okay.
But he did. He is a great coach. Like, literally make you better, and finds every little ounce of, greatness to get out of you, he can get it out of you, and but no, I mean, just like going there and stuff, like his motivational tactics, like it would be interesting to see that today with guys. But he can really like push your buttons to make you be like great. You know what I mean? Like that's all. Like me spending that time with him, like me being in with him for 7 years, I just kept getting better and better and better, through him. So I mean, that's how it worked. But yeah, he got some wild stories. Like this one, I can tell you, like this one, I guess that's be somewhat appropriate.
Or not, like I said, we're a podcast, man. You can curse, you can call people pieces of shit, asshole. You can say whatever you want. Like I said, we're not mainstream media, bro.
No, I know, but like I would tell this story, it would go out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What he did. It used to be funny, so he always like, I ain't shit, like I ain't pimping either, like he always said pimping, that was his thing. It's like I ain't pimping either. Now, if you don't do this, they're gonna probably let you go. You tell somebody that or something like that. But he used to, like, I mean, he's like a guy like from North Carolina, and just he like some of the old movies stuff he would say.
Yeah.
We're playing. We got to play this team, this 1 week, and they have a really good offensive line. And Wash would be like, shit, if you don't do go out there and play your best, they're gonna make you squeal like a pig. And so that's what he would tell these younger guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I heard him say it, like I would hear all these things, and I was like, hey Wash, I was like, when we were like walking off or something, I was like, hey Wash, I said, they don't understand what that means.
Right, yeah. What the hell are you saying?
He's like, you're shitting me. He's like, I said, no, they don't know what that means. He said, are you serious? I was like, yeah. Like these are younger guys. They never seen that movie. Said, all right. So we go to the practice and do all that stuff, and then we get done in practice. We normally go in and watch our practice, film, and see what you can critique or whatever. So anyway, we go. So we go in, instead of watching our practice film, he puts on that scene from Deliverance. and so like dude is like, you sure do got a pretty mouth, and he's like, take them britches off, them pants, get up there on that hill and take them panties off. He's seen the movie.
Yeah.
And
hey, Al, we might have cut out, man.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me?
No. Yeah, I can hear you now. You're good now, man.
Yeah, somebody called me.
Okay.
The dude, like the young cats, I mean, their eyes are so big and like, what the hell,
Yeah, like what the hell is he talking about?
Oh yeah, so now they figure out what he's talking about. They're like, shit, that offensive lineman ain't gonna make me squeal like no pig. Literally, the young guys. I mean, we played great anyway, but like the young guys, man, they tore these guys up, man. I mean, like I think our young guys had to have like 3 sacks.
Wow.
Yeah. They were like they got out there. It was so funny. He was like, see, the shit worked. I said, I know. I was like, I know. It's so funny.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I guess some people need motivation and stuff like that, like different motivation, different ways, and just talking. And he'll talk to you like, he never did me like this, but some guys like he felt like maybe were like lazy or just like could do more. Like he would just get on them. It's just to make them like motor, make this like like just a guy got to come out there and tear it up.
Right.
So yeah, it was great though.
That's cool, man. So tell us a little bit about your rookie season, man. So you get like, what was that like? What were you thinking? Like, what were your expectations? Coming in, obviously you're a high draft pick. You're on this team, and I think what Jeff Fisher was the head coach. And you got Steve McNair and Eddie George. I mean, these legends of the game. Like, what were you thinking? Going in?
Man, heck, just to be me. like go and show what I could do. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was, to be honest. Like I gotta go show out. So yeah, I mean, you look in, it's crazy. You know, you're seeing those guys. You know, you got the Freak. You know, you got Kevin Carter. You got you know, Keith Bullock, you got Randall Godfrey. I mean, you got all these guys. I mean, all-star Samari Roll. I mean, you know, like you said, Steve and Eddie and Frank Wycheck. And, you know, I mean, you got just all these stars. It's like, wow. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was big time. But, you know, you got to go in there and, like, not be like, ooh and ah. Let's go out there and, like, show them what you could do.
Right.
That's how you, like, get, you know, into the group. Like if you don't, you know, go out there and show out, then you're just like another guy, kind of.
Right.
You know, they won't even know that you could do that. Like we can go to the war together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. Easy, you had a question?
I wanted to. So you were known as the greatest run stopper, and as your first couple years in the league came around, you became an impact pressure sack guy as well. And so what was that transition like? What did you do to just drastically improve and do more than just being the best run stopper in the game?
You know, what a lot of people don't understand, your scheme has a whole lot to do with the way a guy can play. You know what I mean? Like a whole lot. Like I could say like being a run stopper. So like when I was at Tennessee early on, you know, we had, you know, good youth players and stuff like that, but you know, I wasn't like a star or anything. So we did a whole lot of, you know, moving sideways. We had blitzes, you know, so you can't just sit here and just like rush the passer any way that you want to. Like you had to like be in this structure. You had to do this way, and you know, so you kind of become kind of like a racehorse with a plow on it. But you know, I was like more like a, you know, like a fledgling. You know, I was young player, so I still needed that structure. But then as I got better and better, and my D coordinator started, you know, noticing, you know, Jim Schwartz started noticing, like, man, like I can kind of like, let me just try to take some of this stuff off and see how I play, because, you know, like I'm getting more pressure without blitzes.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know, I'm gonna start doing some different things. So that's how he did it, really. And eventually, like the last like 2-3 years, he didn't call blitzes at all. Like
he didn't call no blitzes? Jim Schwartz? None?
Nope. He was just like, I mean, my last it was definitely my last year there when we went 13-3.
Yeah.
Didn't call not one single blitz. Like like he didn't even like the D line, like me and Cal, we did our own deal. Like we controlled the defensive line, and all Jim would do is call the coverage.
Okay.
So
I got you.
Yeah, so like he would call for blitz, we would wave it off like, nah.
Yeah, we got this.
And he was like, yeah, right, you're right. And then, you know, he'll nod and like tell the guys. Yeah, I mean, it was great. So that's kind of what it was. And I mean, that's how like flourished to do stuff, because all you got to do, I mean, run or pass, learn about is like getting off the ball, like really getting off the ball and exploding. And then I started to work out on my own with like my own trainer. So I had a personal trainer that like we worked on position specific stuff and not team stuff. You know, like when you see workouts now, like, oh, they want you to come in as a team and work out. It's like, honestly, I mean, it's me. I don't think
it's not beneficial.
No, because you're all doing pretty much the same thing. I mean, you know, DBs and receivers, they're going to run 100 yards, but they're going to have the D line running 60 yards. Like, why are you running so many like 60 yards? You know, you're not doing that. Like, you need to run like 30, 10 yards. You know, like
exactly,
like exploding out. Like that's where you play.
Right.
And so that's what we did as my trainer, like explosion and like just quick feed and just like being able just to move like and burst. And, I mean, it was hard, but it like that's when you saw my game really change is when I started working out with him just to see how things are going to be.
Got you. Yeah, and I noticed. I used to watch like before you guys went to camp. You would read a lot in articles and say, "Hey, this person didn't show up to camp. He's hanging out with his trainer, or he's training with his trainer." But like I said, I always knew. Like I knew had to be a reason why. I mean, these guys they just lay things across the board for everybody. Like you got to work on specific things so you can get better. And you flourished, man. I mean, your last 2 seasons in Tennessee, man. I mean, like you said, you moved. It could have been scheme or whatever, but 2007 and 2008. I mean, you were almost a double-digit sack guy, which is incredible for.
Was it 11 games where you had the season with 6 sacks? Was it only 11 games that year?
Yeah, it could have been. I think so. And then I think the next year I got like 8.5 or something.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. For our audience, Albert, I want you to tell people, as a defensive tackle, bro, because a lot of people don't understand how good Aaron Donald is, and I'll probably ask you who's your favorite, one of your favorite players to watch in NFL now. How hard is it to get double-digit sacks as a defensive tackle in the NFL?
Well, I mean, what Donald is doing is
he on some shit, ain't he? Like, what?
Absolutely,
bro.
Incredible.
What is wrong with him, man?
Yeah, and when I say like they say he's not a big guy, but he's like super strong. I don't. Just watching this game, I don't know. Like, dude, just like they just like give it up. Like, I'm like, damn, they're having like 20 sacks a season, 17 as a D tackle. Like,
as a D tackle,
unheard of. And he's not like just powering over people and stuff like that, but he can.
Yeah.
I mean, he's smaller. Like, I was like, wow. Like, totally different. But Jeff Simmons, I like to watch. And like him, I think he could be a lot like me if they literally stopped, putting a plow on the racehorse pretty much,
Yeah.
That's what they're doing to him, man, because he's a guy that needs to start going forward. Instead, they'd be doing all this sideways stuff. Getting all this weight going sideways, and you try to go up, and by that time, quarterback's throwing the ball. I mean, that's why they had 19 sacks last year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they don't like all they do is want to blitz these outside linebackers and things like that instead of letting the D line play.
I know.
Yeah. So. But
that
was the thing. That's really scheme is everything. I mean, when I tell people to look at it, like, say you're pick your favorite doctor, you would say, like, what kind of doctor would you be if you'd be a doctor right now? What kind?
Maybe a heart doctor.
Yeah, heart surgeon.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you'd be a cardiologist. So you're gonna be a cardiologist, and that's your field. You're great at a cardiologist. Now, you're a doctor. You're a great cardiologist. Now go be a neurosurgeon. Go work on the brain. Can you be as effective as that? Are you going to be? You think you're going to be great at that? Like, no. I mean, it's different.
Yeah,
that's what people don't get it. The same thing about football. Like, they're like, oh, you didn't try to play in Washington. All that. It's like, well, I still had like, I don't know what, like 4.5, 5 sacks that one year, first year, and then still another 2.5 when a guy didn't even want me to get a sack, which is crazy. But I mean, like, that is still improved under their crappy system that they have me in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just wild, like, why people don't freaking understand it. Like, and then you even have old football people that like, oh, it's just playing football. It's like, well, scheme has a lot to do with it. And if I never done this before ever in my life, and then now you want me to be great at it, and like, it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially when they like tell you differently, like, hey, we're gonna do what you did here. And I'm kind of referring to the Washington thing, like going there was just a nightmare, Like people are like, "Oh, you got money?" Like I don't care. I care about my happiness more than I care about money. And it was like a nightmare. Like all the upper managed people, like, yeah, we're gonna run the same defense, Tennessee. We can do all that, blah blah blah. And then the D coordinator, he's like,
who's the D coordinator?
A guy named like Greg Blosh.
Greg, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he was just like, no, we ain't doing none of that.
What?
I'm like, what? Like, like the head coach Zorn at the time, like, yeah, and then didn't like Zorn. Like people clown Zorn, but he's like a nice dude, good dude.
But was he a head coach, Albert? Like from the outside looking at,
he didn't have any power.
Yeah, okay.
Like I was just like how's the head coach not have power? Like he was just there. And,
wow.
I mean, yeah.
Who would have the power? Like, well, probably Snyder, like they always report.
Like, when they do whatever they wanted to do. Yeah, but then, Dan Snyder wasn't a he's not a football. He's a football guy. He loves football, but he doesn't know much about it.
Yeah.
Like all he wants to do is win. And what I call him a fantasy footballer, to be honest. He's a billionaire fantasy footballer. Like that's how they used to do it. Like he wanted, like you see, Albert Haynesworth making this wave. Like, wow, that gotta be dominant. I'm gonna bring him here. I'm gonna bring him here, and he could do the same thing.
Yeah,
but you don't understand. It's like schemes, and guys have egos. Like Blosh, he gonna do his system regardless of if it's not good for his, players or not. That's when you got a good coach or a bad coach. Like a coach that can adapt to his players, make work. That's what the sign of a great coach. If you just running your same little system that you've been running for 25, 30 years.
Those are dinosaurs in the game, man.
Right.
I hate how those guys are like me. I don't know if you probably didn't listen to the show. We had a former coach on, and he was just talking about these retreads, these guys that get jobs because they're friends with this guy and that guy, and they run this system for hundreds and hundreds of years. Well, not hundreds, obviously. But yeah, you can't do that. You got to run schemes based off your players' talents and what they're good at. You know what I mean? Like
if you got a bunch of I guess area, average, players, then okay, then you put a system in that will work for them. But when you got special players, then you definitely want to build around them.
Right.
But these dinosaurs, that was Blosh, just ridiculous. He would. I remember the first practice or first little mini camp or something like that we had. OTA, and they didn't snap the ball, and they're like shift left, shift right. This defense. We're doing all this shifting. I'm like, what? How the hell am I get off the ball?
Exactly. You moving?
Having to think about. Well. All right, there's some running back shifted over. Oh, you got to do this and do that. And I'm like, what? The hell? And they're like, yeah, good job. I'm like, man, that's awful. Terrible.
Oh, shit. Yeah, man. You just, like I said, these guys, man, they just come up with all types of new shit. And then ultimately, those seasons where you were in Washington, the team didn't have much success either, did they? They didn't really do much.
No, they had no success.
And remember, coming off a Defensive Player of the Year.
To that team, it's what in the hell?
I wish I would have stayed.
I wanted to stay in Tennessee, but it's a business. So
it's a business.
You got to pay money. And they didn't offer me anything they wanted me to stay. So I was just like, you know what? Then I'm out.
Mm-hmm. So, gotcha.
But it was just terrible. I was like, oh my God. And they thought it was they thought that shit was live. Obviously I ain't been in no good defenses.
Right. Yeah, man.
Don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, and then like I said, Washington, And like I said, me and Z, we live in like the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So Z lives in Virginia, I live in Maryland. But like I said, we're already aware of the things that Washington, they've been doing the same kind of thing for years and there were stories coming out about Dan Snyder and all of the stuff.
I have no problems with Dan whatsoever. And everybody like, oh, of course, he paid money. Like, no, I said, the dude, he doesn't know football well. I don't know how he's learned, but didn't know football well, but he did want to win, and he would get you players to win. I mean,
right.
He wasn't like a Jerry Jones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's nowhere near like Jerry Jones, but he's passionate about Washington. And so that's why he would do the things he did, because he wanted to be, knowledgeable like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones grew up in football and all that stuff. So,
right.
He know how to do that. But, Dan just like, he got a shit ton of money team, and I'm going to bring in who I want. Build you this fantasy football team.
Right. He building Madden teams.
Right. Right.
Yeah, man. Well,
I had a question. So the talk back then was you may have gone to Tampa. So living in this area, everybody thought, was that real or was that just talk?
Yeah. I mean, they offered me a bigger deal than Washington.
Wow.
But I didn't want. I should have taken it because, their defense will be a little closer to Tennessee's defense. But
what was Tennessee running? They were running a 4-3, right?
Yeah.
4-3. Okay.
Yeah, but in the D line, we were spread out to where you can't get outside of us. Like,
oh, okay.
Like the ends are, they can't lose contain. It's not the linebackers covering.
So they were like in wide nines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or wide nines or sixes. Yeah.
Got you.
So yeah, you're gonna fight. Make sure you don't let anybody out. So then, Tampa is great, but the reason I didn't go to Tampa and the reason kind of why I picked Washington is because I wanted a large market team, like a big media team. But
Washington is that, yeah.
Yeah, not knowing that they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, but I picked it for the right reasons, because we did a lot here at Tennessee, but you would get hardly no love on ESPN or anything like that. So you always see Washington like up there. So I'm just like, all right, like I could do that. Washington, Dallas, or New York. The Giants or something.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go do that. It was like it's the 10th largest market. And I figure like I play for another 4 years and then retire and then be. Then they could probably be up for the Hall of Fame or something.
Right.
But that's not how it worked out. But
yeah, I hear you, man. Like I said, Washington is that. I mean, they're one of the media cap, but like you said, New York, Washington, LA, Dallas, places like that. You know what I mean? Right. But so like I said, you were at Washington for a little bit. Where did you leave after you left Washington? Where exactly did you go?
Traded to the Patriots.
Okay. So what was that like, man?
Bill Belichick is amazing coach, like one of the smartest coaches, or probably the smartest coaches in the world, to be honest. If he had assistants like him, if he can clone himself, they will be in the talk of Super Bowl every year.
Right.
Like that's how smart he is. And not saying like Brady, like Tom, when I played against him early, I felt like he was just a system quarterback when he was younger, when his first couple of Super Bowls or something. But then now he's like, no, he is like a Belichick on the field. Like he already know what you're gonna do. He know where the weakness is. I mean, and then he got an arm where he can put it to where you can't get it. I mean, where the defense can't get it. It's incredible. Like watching when we practice against him, first team offense, first team defense.
Yeah.
Man, some of the throws he made, I'm like, holy shit.
We just like tight window throws, like
oh my god,
ball placement.
Yeah, I'm just like, God, dang, like this dude's the real deal, bro. Like this dude. I mean, I played with, Steve McNair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was. It was just night and day difference.
No, he's like in his own stuff, man. Like his own stuff. I mean, it's just what do you see? You're like, what in the world? Like, how is that the case? I mean, it's impressive.
Right.
And so I'm not even shocked what he does here at Tampa.
Yeah.
Give him weapons and stuff like that. And I think that was the thing with him at the Patriots. Like, he always taking these like lower contracts, because he wants them to like, hey, don't spend all the money on me, bring me in people. But then they did that, he's doing that, and they're not bringing in people. So you're like, man, I'm out.
Yeah, what were they doing? Like he wasn't like one of the top paid guys in NFL for years, but like you said,
never.
But I never understood where did that money. They only paid. It didn't even seem like they were bringing in like high priced free agents. Like they brought in Randy Moss for like that 1 year or whatever, and we saw what happened. But like other than that, they didn't like. What were they doing?
No, it's just like it's like Bill's a budget shopper. He going in. He could be a billionaire, and he's still gonna be damn couponing at the freaking Kroger. You know what I mean?
It makes sense why he wears those hoodies, right?
Right. That's what he could do. Like he going coupon shop. He ain't trying to spend crazy money. He ain't gonna make no big splashes whatsoever. No, I mean he'll take his core players that he got. It'll be core guys, and he'll keep them, but everybody else is interchangeable. So he had like about 6 guys that he'll sign, but then everybody else is interchangeable.
Got you. Yeah. It makes sense, and you could kind of see that, like some of the guys he kept, like with the Tom Brady and the Vince Wilforks, and some of the cornerbacks and Teddy Bruschi's and Mike Vrabel, like guys like that. He always kept those guys, even Richard Seymour, up until they got to a certain point. But yeah, that was good to see, man. So played with New England for a little bit. So after New England, what happened after New England?
So like I didn't honestly, I didn't like and my body was like breaking down, but I didn't like into it with what's his name, Pepper Johnson, who was just a fucking idiot. He was a D-line coach, but he was a joke. Like the guy never taught nothing. Only time like I ever learned anything was when Bill came in the room and he would tell, and so we got into it on the sideline. I was like, yeah, I'm like, fuck this. So then they were like, yeah, they were like, yeah, we're gonna let you go. I said, yeah, that's fine. I said, hey, Bill, I said, let you know, like, people you think are for you aren't for you. Just letting you know that. And then he figured it out, and end up making some changes himself, like later on. Yeah. But I was just like, my body's breaking down. And the next year, they're like, "Oh, you want to?" The Giants call if I want. I'm like, man, I'm like the way my body feels. Like I had my last year, I had to have 4 epidurals in the back. Just
wow,
like
Jesus,
I'm like all in training camp. Like they're supposed to be spaced out, but it wasn't in a spot. Like I literally was like say the to the parking where we park to the get into your locker room, maybe 100 yards.
Yeah,
to get in there, and it would probably take me like when I'm back out, probably like 30 minutes to get down there.
Wow, bro, why didn't you take a golf cart?
I don't know. I didn't think about that, but it wasn't like a. You couldn't take it because the only walk was only probably like 20 yards to get in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But going through the bill and all that stuff because they're the practice facilities in the stadium. Yeah. So so it was just like walking on the hallways, all that stuff. It was sucked. It was bad, and I was just like, yeah. And my agent was like, yeah, you want to? Is the Giants really want you? I'm like, no. That's it. There's no way. Like I don't feel good at all. Like body just hard to get out of bed. I'm like 31. Hard to get out of bed, all this stuff, and yeah, I was like, end up just like maybe I take a few years off, like a couple of years, because I started when I was actually I was 30. I started when I was 20, so I got drafted at 20 years old.
Right.
And so like that 10 years, I was just like, gosh, I mean, beat up, and I was like, I'm gonna take a year or two off, and I'd come back and play at like 32, 32, 33, and then that's when I got basically the aneurysm, the brain aneurysm. That's what ended the career.
Wow.
Like 2 years later, that's what ended my career.
Jeez,
it was like no more football. That's what the guy said.
Man.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, man. But like I said, you had a great career, man. Like I said, you won at one point in time, you were probably you won Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, you were the best.
2008.
Yeah, I mean, you were the best.
That was Sporting News and all that stuff, not NFL. I think they hated on me.
Yeah, I mean, some of those
2 years I was runner up for Defensive Player of the Year. And then like, first year in 2007, they said it was like runner up the Defensive Player of the Year. Next year I have better numbers and I'm still the runner up. I'm like, I don't even know who the other people were.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like I said, it's just incredible. As I don't think people understand, as a defensive tackle, how incredibly hard it is to win awards like that. You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, at the end of how many you probably got double teamed on literally almost every play, right?
Literally every play.
Bro, like how did you ever, like, how happy were you like when you were trying to get one-on-one? Like, you probably rarely got one-on-ones, right?
Didn't know what to do with it. It was like a virgin with some damn experienced cooker. I didn't even know what to do.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was just like, it was totally out, just like out of the way, like totally abnormal. So so sometimes I didn't even do anything. That was a funny thing.
Yeah. Z, you had a question, man?
So just throughout your career, you've always overcome all these obstacles and always bounced back from everything to come back stronger, come back better. What was your mentality like before each game and before each season to come back better, to come back stronger, to come back again and again and again? Because every time it seemed you were on the field, you weren't to be messed with, and there was some improvement that was going to happen year over year. How did you approach that?
It was really just like, hey, honestly, I want to embarrass the guy on the field who's playing against me. Just getting that mentality. Like you play with so much anger and stuff, And like in 2006, like when I got suspended, all that, that was like you already play like angry, but not like crazy angry. And there was some things that was said on the field that just really pushed me over the top. Like, holy shit, like just you were out here trying to do this. Like, all right, then we have to take it a whole nother level.
Right.
So that's what happened with that. But like then I just learned, like, all right, it's not that I'm a dirty player, because I never try to hurt anybody. But like it was just like, all right, I want to beat the ever living shit out of this guy.
Right.
Between the whistles. Like I want him
to dominate him. Yeah.
Yeah. I want him to know that I'm the best he ever played against. Like that was my mentality.
Right.
And stuff. So, that's really what I try to live by. And then having the tools as far as the workouts and things that we did, that was awesome. So that's what helped.
That's cool, man.
How satisfying was it to become a Pro Bowler after going through all of that and it seemed like everybody coming down on you, for you to come back and achieve at the highest level?
Like nobody can come down on me harder than I can come down on myself. So right. I need to improve it. I don't really care what people think. Like, I meet people all the time. They're like, "Oh my God, like you're such a nice guy. You're nothing like what the media portrays you." I was like,
right, mainstream media, right?
Yeah, I was like, they make their villains. They'll have their villains, and you can live by it or live your own life, and that's what I did. I lived my own life, and I mean, I am the person I am. I like to joke, have fun, I got like so many friends, and when they like, business guys, and they introduce me to them, and they're like, oh, to somebody else, they're like, I thought the guy was like crazy or something. I thought, that's what they think before they meet me, and then they're like, oh my God, like, I'm telling you, every time, I'll be richer if I had $1 every time, like I heard that,
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just like I said, it's mainstream media. Like, that's why I wanted to bring you on the show. A lot of these guys, man. I mean, I think a lot of casual sports fans, like, they think they know people, but they don't know. They don't know you. They just read these articles. They watch ESPN. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast. Man. We want to chop it up with people and hear straight from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean?
Right,
They try to highlight, people in a certain light, and this is like you don't know these people. You know what I mean? Exactly. But yeah, man. So
words to live by: live your own life. Everybody, write that down. Live your own life.
Live your own life, and the only person that's going to take 100% care of you is yourself. That's the only person you can count on. 100% not to failure is yourself, and if you fail yourself, it's because you didn't give a shit and you didn't try. So it's got to be like that,
Yeah, man. So before we get you up out of here, man, I wanted to ask you a few more questions. So who are some of your biggest like competition in the league as far as offensive line goes? Like, were there any old linemen like you like, oh yeah, I like to play him, like I want to beat his ass, you know what I mean? Or like, or somebody that stuck out to you, or even players?
Somebody stuck out to me who I still like chat with a little bit on Instagram and stuff was Chester Pitts, man.
Really?
Like, okay, man, we have battles because we would have battles. I don't know if it was just because like kind of like or whatever, but like, man, I have battles. But then I'll watch him like other players, and he'd be like easier on them. I'm like, what the hell, like, dude. It's like 10 times better than that guy. You could easily dominate that guy, but you didn't dominate him. Like, why? But we both turned up when we played each other. It was awful when he went to playing guard. I'm like, God almighty. So we really had those battles. But I played against a lot of guards. I played against a lot of guards and stuff, of course. Champ. Yeah. Oh, my dog's barking at me.
Oh no, you're good, man.
Champ. Yeah. But like some of the guys that play, like coaches would like try to put it up. Here's a draft story. So like I go before the draft. So I go to Charlotte, the Panthers, and I got the number 2 pick, and I had Jack Del Rio was the coordinator, defensive coordinator there.
Okay.
And he was just like, I mean, I remember this day. He was like, what makes you think you can play in the NFL? Man. We got that's what he said. Like, we got grown men out here. Like,
he playing.
Yeah. Throw you and all this stuff. And he like yells down the hall. It's like, hey, what's that guard from Dallas? Larry Allen. Yeah, look at this. And he like puts his film on and all this stuff like that. I'm like, okay. And like, you think you're the boy? You think you can handle it? I'm like, all right, let's see, whatever. And so I don't get drafted there, whatever, but I get drafted to the Titans. So you go to the Titans. Guess who the second game is again?
Big Larry Allen.
Big Larry Allen. I remember like the last play against him. I take him, and it's like, I don't know, maybe second quarter or something. I take him and like throw him basically into the quarterback. He doesn't come back in the game. And I was like, because I told my D-line coach that story.
Yeah.
It was like, let me get your chance. He's like, shit, we ought to freaking send him this video right here. Let him know what it is. That boy, a grown man, like that. But I threw him into the quarterback. I missed a sack of Quincy Carter, but my buddy got the sack.
Right. The way you even started off, when you were saying, like, Jack was saying, like, hey, you ain't gonna be ready for this guy. Like, I was like, I know he's playing, because anytime you talking that sweet, it's like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be playing. You know, he's just trying to fire you up, right?
Like, you just don't know who I am, man.
You had to let him know.
Right.
That's what's up, man. So I was gonna ask you. So the last two questions I had was a lot of people in our group love Peyton Manning. What was your experience like? Did you play against Peyton Manning?
Yeah.
Like, what was your experience playing against him?
Tried to kill him.
Well, I forgot you're in the same division. Like, how annoying is he to play against?
And UT royalty. So that's
I forgot. Yeah.
Thing. Well, your opponent. But yeah, no, I mean, great quarterback, of course, and all the antics. But he got things that I was figuring out what he could do, and that really helped me in the game.
Yeah,
against him. Yeah. I tried to put him in the dirt hard. Between the whistles. Yeah, I'm gonna help you up afterwards, but yeah, I'm gonna put you in the dirt hard.
That's what's up, man. And then I guess for the Tennessee Titans fans, we probably got a lot of Titans fans watching, man. How do you feel about Tennessee this upcoming season, man? As you know, they got Julio Jones and Tannehill is.
Their offense has always been straight. They're good. I mean, yeah, they lost the guy last year.
Yeah,
but they keeping AJ Brown. I think he's a huge key. So to get another receiver like him, or like an older fit him is awesome with Julio Jones, and the running back, of course,
King Henry.
Yeah. But like we already knew like their offense is straight, but they gotta get their defense right. And I don't think they took the right steps to get their defense right. Like,
you don't think so?
No, he basically he was the defensive coordinator. Verbal was
right,
and then he hired a guy within the facility already to be a defense coordinator. So all that guy is just going to be the puppet for him, still running his defense. But now he has a layer of protection. He's like, I can fire this guy because he's sucked, but it's actually his defense.
Right.
Then they bring in Schwartz, which I don't get, like, as a consultant, and because Schwartz don't really. I mean, he can do all that. I mean, again, he's a brilliant guy.
Yeah,
he can, like, draw up that stuff, but like that's another layer. I felt like for Vrabel, you know what I mean? Like, they're still gonna run his defense, but they're gonna have those guys as the first fall guys.
Right.
I didn't like that. So we'll see what their team does this year. I mean, again, they're gonna have a great offense, and I think their defense is just gonna be okay. I mean, hopefully they're not the lowest in the league,
right,
but like, hopefully they try to improve. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think they'll be solid, man. They brought in a few pieces. They brought in Bud Dupree from Pittsburgh, Janoris Jenkins at corner.
But again, like I said, it's not the players
system.
System. It's the scheme of what you're making these guys do. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully, like, these are the right people for his system.
Gotcha.
To flourish in. So.
Got you, man.
All right, man.
I see.
It's literally about to storm now, I guess.
Damn, man. All right, I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. So Albert Haynesworth, everybody. Albert, is there anybody you want to shout out, man, before hopping off, bro?
No, love all you guys that love me. And fuck me.
That's what's up, man. Hey, Albert Haynesworth, everybody. Albert, thanks for joining the show, brother, man. Like I said,
enjoyed it with you guys, man.
No doubt, man. Like I said, I love chopping it up with you, bro. Much love and respect to you, man. And like I said, I just want, all of these guys, because a lot of these guys don't know you, man. They don't know you. They don't know you from a can of paint, But like I said, this sort of kind of gives them, something to bite off with. But yeah, man. I'll let you get out of here. Everybody, that concludes our show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you next show. Peace.
Hey, guys.